Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be working on Roxy's weekly challenge. I think we're on week 18 and we're making labels, drawing labels with paint, acrylic paint this time. She does love to challenge us with our painting, which doesn't she? So this is going to be another one. But I really enjoy giving these things a go. It's so much fun to try something that you hadn't thought of doing yourself. So I pulled out a few colours of paint and I just thought I'd get going. I've had a little go just to see if I can actually draw straight or paint straight. It's debatable, but we're going to give it a go. Mostly what I'm going to be using is digitals, but I have got one little tiny piece of vintage music I thought I'd start with. Because I haven't got much in the right sort of like old ledger papers and things. I haven't got much that I can use that would be suitable. So I'm going to use a bunch of digitals. So I've got a few shapes to draw around to make these labels. There's an old chipboard piece. I thought I like that bit there. But it's kind of, maybe if I do it about there. I think I can see myself doing a few freehand type of shapes just because these aren't all the shapes that I'm going to want to use. It's a bit fatter than I wanted, so sorry about that. I'm just going to sorry, just turn the sound off. Right, so where was I? Yeah, and I've got, I thought I'd start with this gorgeous colour. It's called Blue Lagoon. It's a favourite, and it's just a gorgeous, rich, tealy colour. And I just thought I'd make a few with this. I don't have a dark blue paint, so which I would have liked. I like a blue. So I'm just going to follow the line. See how I get on. I've got a little selection of brushes. I don't have good brushes. I'm finding one that didn't look like it would spread its bristles everywhere. It was a bit challenging, but I think this one looks okay. No, I don't want to do it that way. I want to keep it on my right, being a left-handed, like Rachel. I'm a lefty. But she does hers a bit differently to me. I like to keep my work to the right of me, so I don't smudge it. Now doing the inside is a bit more of a challenge. Right. My lines are a bit thick, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. This is quite a big one. There we are. Well, it's kind of there. So I think what I might do is just try and do, maybe I'll use my ruler, do a little one down here. Not yet quite ready to do a completely freehand label. Get this out of the way. I'd like to use that bit of music there. Okay. This is one of those. I found this in my stash. It must be another thing I've I've inherited, I've never bought any of this stuff. Inherited from my mother-in-law. This is one of those pads with a disposable sheet that you can use as a palette. It's got a coating on it. I think that's the sort of thing Rachel's been using. And but it's specifically for acrylics and oils. Don't think it'd work for watercolours. I could be wrong. Right. Okay, like those. Let's move those aside to dry. I've got this piece I've torn off. It's actually a remittance, I think, a remittance piece. 19th of October 1959. Let's see if I can do something with this. Not too big. Where's this one? I might just try this. I don't think that's going to work very well. I'm just going to do it there. I've got far too much paint here. What I might end up doing is doing what Rachel did and doing some swatching as well. It comes out in a big lump. And I gave it a little squeeze, the bottle. Maybe I can make it a little smaller. I think it was just a bit too big. Alright, that's that one. I've got this. This is actually a die, but I thought I could draw around it. It's got a little shape around the corners. Quite a small one. This other one is not too wet because I might end up with my hand on it if I'm not careful. Right, see if I can make this line a little thinner. Okay. Right, I'm going to leave those to dry and try a different colour. I've got some papers here from, I think these might be, I think these are Paper Outpost ephemera. I'm just going to tear that piece off because that's the one I think I'm going to use. And I've got some more that I thought might work as well. Got this piece. I'll come back to that. And I'm going to do, what colour shall I do? Red. Let's try and get a smaller blob of the red. No chance. Should we try doing a little bit of freehand drawing? There are some lines on here that I could probably follow. Let's see if we can get a nice long one. That's not too bad. It's handy. You might not be able to see them, but there are some very faint lines under here, and that's helped keep me straight. Not the steadiest of hand on there. Okay. Let's do this little one here, a little square. Do it up here. I don't know if I shall do a double line on all of them. This one might be too small, really. Maybe I'll try something inside, like little dots. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, there's one of the dots just isn't quite big enough. That one there. Okay. Right. Let's try another piece. Leave that aside. I'm not going to do loads because I don't want to be here all day. My last video literally took me all day to make, and I don't think I can do that again. I think on here, no, I'm going to do a bit here, I think. Let's do one of these funny shaped ones. About there. Maybe I'll do that like that. Okay, and shall I do any more red ones? Maybe one more. I have quite a lot of it. I've got some ephemera from Rach and Bella Crafts. They've got some Welsh ephemera. So maybe I'll use one or two of these because they're quite interesting colours, some of these. I'm going to use that, but I'm going to try not to... I don't want to do the fancy corners, I just want to square them off. I'm doing it for the size rather than for the shape. Okay, like that. Okay, and should we do something else? Yes. I'm going to just get rid of this. As Rachel suggested, get rid of most of the paint on here and then wash it so that I don't make my water too murky. I forgot to do that with the blue one, didn't I? I think I'm going to do a different colour. I'm going to draw around it there. Quite a big one, this one. I'm not sure how much I would use really big ones, but I thought I'd just try making one or two. And I'm going to go for this. It's a colour I really like, Dirty Martini. I love the name, but I like the colour as well. I like this olivey green. Okay, managed to get a smaller amount of that one. Okay, see if I can squeeze this one in here as well. Put it down a fraction. No, put it up there. All around that. Oh no, I was going to make that a bit smaller. I think I'll just do it there. Like that, I think. Make a little one. Littler one. Right. Let's have a go with this green. I thought I might use a slightly bigger brush for the bigger label. I think I should have brought it down a little bit more. That'll be fine. Just got a slightly thicker brush, so I don't know how that'll work. It's quite a thick line, isn't it? A little bit watery. Go this way. don't think it works so well with this brush. Okay. A couple of bits where it just seems to have gone a bit watery, I don't know why. But I can probably thin it when I cut it. But I'm going to use the other brush, the thin brush, to do the inside. Right. And here's my little one. Make sure it's got all the red off. Okay. Right, let's try this. Yeah, go down here. It's coming out a little bit thick too. Don't know if it's the paint that's a bit different. Or me being a bit heavy-handed. Go around here. Right, I quite like that with the lady inside. And then I'm going to do this one, aren't I? This smaller one. Don't want to get the rest of this in. Okay. I'm not going to do any circles or any fancy shapes. I think I've done enough different shapes. What else have I got? Got a few pieces by, I think these are some Roxy Creations little pieces. So I might use some of those. I want to do another little square one. Where's my little pieces gone? My little one's gone. Here's my little one gone. It's got buried. That's the one, the really big ones. And then that one. Oh, isn't it always the way? When you get involved and things start disappearing. On the floor? Nope. Oh, here it is. It's just sitting there, tucking itself under my mat. Okay. Let's do, oh that's actually, is that upside down? It's really hard to tell. I suppose it matters really. Going to draw around there. And then I'm going to try and do a freehand. keep an eye on the time because I want to cut them up, and some of them might need to be stamped in. Right, let's, oh yes, I'm doing a little inner frame. I thought I might not put an inner frame in all of them, but they don't look quite right without one, do they? Right, I'm going to try and do something with this. Not too bad. I suppose that another option is to actually go around the outside, and I might do that actually. Rather than trying to go on the inside. Maybe it's a little... Another option is to start with the inside one and go round it. Okay. Alright. And what else? I might do... I've got another piece here. This is going to be the last one I'm doing. I've got so many bits I pulled out, but... Right, so I think I'll have to call it quits for that, for doing those. It's one of those things you could just keep going. I'd love to do more, and I've got more colours here that I could use. But I want to try and keep the time under control a little bit more this time. Where did my bit of kitchen towel go? Oh well. There it is. There we go. Just dry that. Okay, I'll just turn off the camera and go and look for a few stamps, and we can decide which ones need a stamp. I might cut a few out just to see how they look. I'll be right. Right, so I've pulled out a few stamps and cut up some of the labels, mainly the ones that I thought I would want to stamp on. A couple here that I just cut them out because I want to see how they would look. They've got the ones I did on the music paper, and of course I'm thinking music journal. Might use those for that. But I realised when I was cutting them out that actually this sheet I didn't finish because I was going to do a couple in a different colour on here. So I thought I'd better just quickly finish that one off. And I'm going to use a different colour again, slightly different colour. I've got a dark green here. So I thought I might use that. It's a nice colour. And it's a nice colour to have. Green labels are really useful, very usable. So I thought I'd give that a go on this massive one here. Who knows how usable this will be, but I thought I'd give this big one a try. Quite hard to keep a steady hand on such a long line. And I still need a bit of more watering down, I think. Don't even know if you can see that. It's this green here. It's just a hobby craft. No, it's not. What am I talking about? It's this. I think it was one of my daughters. My younger daughter did art at school, and I inherited all of her paints. Some of which were these little tubes, or fat tubes of acrylic paints, and I've not used them an awful lot because I've tended to favour the Dilutions paints. Just a bit more defined. It's just try and do it in one long sweep. Okay. Now the challenge: do the inner line. Okay. Oh, just blobbed in my red one, didn't I? I'll have to cover that up with something. Oops. Let's see if I can just dab that off a little bit. Otherwise I'm just going to put my hand in it, aren't I? Oh, lovely. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but I'm sure we'll find something to cover it with. Okay. Right, I'll let those dry. I did wonder about doing a bit of swatching down here the way Rachel did, because I've got lots of colour left over. Actually, I might just try and get rid of that green and use a bigger brush for my swatching. So I've got the turquoise still, the blue lagoon. I'm just going to go down here, I think. take in a bit of this. Mix it in. Oops. It's got a bit big, isn't it? A bit of the darker green in there. So the idea is that each colour should be slightly different from the last. Oh, I'm not doing a very good job here, they're a bit messy. Okay, a bit more dark green. See if that's coming out any darker. Not a lot, a bit more. I can't do the red because it would just make mud. Maybe I'll add that at the end. Okay. Now going for the full-on dark. It's not that dark actually, is it? It looks darker when it's in a blob than it does when it's painted. It is a bit darker. So what will happen if I add a bit of red? Shall we find out? Interesting. That was unexpected. It's kind of a purpley brown. Add a bit more. Bit of water. Wow. I don't know if that's actually made any difference. Bit more red then. I'll do it over here. Make the red a bit more intense. It's a bit watery. Okay, that colour might be different. So I'm definitely going into the browns now. Yep, and then the red. Well, that was fun. Don't know if I'd ever use them, but at least I had fun with the paints. I think I need to stop doing that now. Right, so I think I'm going to leave those to dry now, and let's do a bit of stamping. So I've got these, whoops, these little ones cut out. So those ones don't need stamping, they just they were just had a bit of music on. I wanted to see how they looked cut out. But I think these will all need something. So that's that way round. So I've got a little butterfly here. Oh, I need some ink, don't I? Let's go with Memento Tuxedo Black to start with. I might use some sepia at some point. See how much time I've got. Well, I've completely lost track of time as usual. Put that little butterfly right in there. Yep. And got some small number stamps of Tim Holtz here, so maybe I can fit one of those in, although I'm not sure. Maybe what I need is something like, no, that might work. Just a little branch, little leafy branch, sort of. Could always colour that in, I guess. Right. No. Better. These are all from Field Notes. I think a lot of us have got this. Such a useful set. And the Tim Holtz stamps, they do come out so beautifully. I'll try this one from another little set that I have. Yeah, that looks nice, like that. Finish that off. What shall we have in here? Okay, I'll have this one. Is that too big? Yes. It is too big. Too big, too big. Trying to find just the right size. Is that going to go in there? Any other long ones? Did I already do that? Yeah. That's not going to work in there. This one might. Yep. Now I'm wondering, are these two little tiny deer stamps, but they're not going to work. They're not going to fit. They might go in there, but they're not going to do that. This one's going to go here. And I get this one in here, which I do really like. Maybe I won't ink all of it so I don't have it going over the edge. So that comes out. Yeah, that's all right. Not quite sure why there's lines going down. I know that line goes there. Was that line in it already? It might have been, I suppose. Don't think I use that one. Just make sure I get all the ink off. What else did I use? That one. Okay, didn't use that. Right, I think that's all of them. Oh no, this one I haven't done. What can I do on here? What's that? I think this one needs a little colour. It's very white, this one. Try and give it a little bit of distress ink. Whoops. Yep, that looks better. Now I can put this on. Okay. And there we are. That might be one of my favourites. Don't know, quite like them. I haven't finished, obviously. I've got a few more to cut out and to finish, but that's as far as I'm going to manage today, I'm afraid. So there we are. Some painted labels that have been stamped inside. So thank you for joining me today for this one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.